So a wonderful day, everyone, especially to my professors, coordinators, and company heads of Colegio de Muntinlupa, and especially those affiliate of Lufthansa Technik Philippines Incorporated, as well as to my viewers who will watch my OJT experience video. Today, I will be presenting my experience at my on-the-job training, as well as to be specific, my on-the-job training at Lufthansa Technik Philippines Incorporated. So, as an introduction, I would like to share my experience on how I was able to be part of LTP's OJT program. Uh, this will serve an essential video, especially those who want to attend the same program that the LTP offers. So for starters, LTP already has a memorandum of agreement with Colegio de Muntinlupa, lessening the need to organize and manage for the need of memorandum of agreement, otherwise known as MOA. So with that, as a background, I sent an email on the 14th of April 2025, in which, to my surprise, in a very quick email, uh, they responded back on the same day, in which I was informed that I had been shortlisted and offered an interview on the 15th of April. So uh, after the interview, the April 16th, 16th of April, I've been considered to be part of their OJT program. And of course, that is where it all started. So, once again, I welcome you, everyone who's watching, to my OJT experience. And of course, to begin, Lufthansa Technik Philippines Incorporated is settled at the Macro Asia Special Economic Zone, Villamor Air Base, Pasay City. Let's see. Pasay City, Philippines, 1309 Philippines, Pasay, Metro Manila, Philippines. So I began my training on the 9th of June 2025, and I concluded on the 1st of August 2025. So as a reference, my working schedule is from Monday to Friday. I'll start at 7 in the morning and end it at 4 p.m. In the afternoon. Basically, that's 8 hours per day. And the journey towards LTP is relatively easy because they offer shuttle services that follows a particular time. So, with that, let's get to know more about LTP and my professional experience. So, as you can see from my presentation, Lufthansa Technik Philippines is a leading aircraft MRO providing specializing in servicing Airbus and Boeing. So when we say MRO, it basically refers to maintenance, repair, and overhaul of aircrafts. When we say overhaul, it basically means thorough examination or repair of an engine. As stated, the said company service Airbus and Boeing aircraft. And as you look on the right side of the presentation is a permitted image of the trainee right beside the Lufthansa Technik Philippines logo. Following this is the history of Lufthansa Technik. So Lufthansa Technik Philippines, in which in a collaboration with Lufthansa Technik AG and Macro Asia Corporation, yields the official establishment of Lufthansa Technik Philippines in September of 2000. So, Lufthansa Technik AG, otherwise known as LHT, when we say AG, it is a German term, but it's the same as incorporated or INC. So LHT is basically the main branch of Lufthansa, wherein they offer the same MRO service that is located in Hamburg, Germany, followed by the company Macro Asia, which offers aviation-related support services like ground handling. This is otherwise known as the MASCORP or the Macro Asia Airport Services Corporation. or even airport catering. So for the third slide, we can see its three main fundamentals of managing the whole facility or company, which are the vision, mission, and core values. So the company's vision is learning towards being the MRO provider of first choice in Asia, with the following mission of assuring safety, reliability for their customers, and the core values of promoting a healthy relationship among employees through mutual trust, respect, and cooperation. Following with the commitment to the values of team orientation, discipline, reliability, responsibility, commitment, and excellence. So with these presentation, or with the illustration from the presentation, we can see the five fundamentals of facility management. So the first one is the base maintenance. So the base maintenance basically deals with the overall repair and modification of an aircraft, while the line maintenance deals with aircraft during layovers at airports or in terminals, in which line maintenance basically refers to minor repairs, fluid top-ups, and even troubleshooting. Then followed by component and engine services. So this section of facility management performs engine quick change, bore scope inspection, module replacement, and even in-depth avionics systems like hydraulics and many more related to that matter. Then followed by the engineering and planning, in which this is the section where I was endorsed. Basically, the engineering and planning is responsible for the preparation of maintenance plans, technical documentation, and compliance with regulations, uh, uh, international and national regulations. Basically, the engineering and planning adheres or follows facility improvement that adhere with international safety standards and allowing for a more uh, workplace encouragement. And then lastly is the support services. Basically, this section ensures good logistics, employee welfare, and regulatory compliance throughout the organization. So a basic example of a support services are HR or even quality management, followed by the following certification. So of course, before a company operates, it must uh, get its permit, get it permit, have it permitted so that uh, normal function or that everything that they operate follows a specific standard. So the first one is the EASA, otherwise, yeah, EASA Part 145, otherwise known as the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, which regulates aviation safety across the European Union. So basically, the Part 145 specifically refers to organizations approved to perform maintenance on aircraft and components, specifically on the European Union, followed by the FAA 145 repair station. So FAA uh, refers to Federal Aviation Administration. So this specific certification allows the company to legally and professionally perform work on aircraft from U.S. airlines or U.S. registered private jets, followed by the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, AMO, or Approved Maintenance Organization. So meaning that the company is legally authorized to operate in the Philippines. It follows, or the company must comply with Philippine aviation safety standards and employs licensed professionals and follows proper procedures for local aircraft. Then lastly is the ISO 9001 2015, which is a global quality standard certification that not only applies in aviation, but in many company industries, meaning that in order to have this particular certification, a company must have a structured quality management system, and then focusing on improvement, customer satisfaction, and efficient internal processes. So, apart from having the said requirement, it must undergoing regular audits to ensure quality is maintained. So, as presented in the presentation, these are some of the example companies that LTP operates on. So, following are the Philippine Airlines, Korean Air, and Royal Brunei Airlines. So, when I was training, during my training, I was able to witness British Airlines as well as Korean Airways. And then following by the following with the technical skills that I have managed to learn. So the first one is applying engineering knowledge. So coming into training, I had the chance to apply what I've learned in college as well as what I've learned from previous vocational learnings, like my NC2 in electrical installation and maintenance. So apart from this are the inspections and troubleshooting of and mechanical systems. So as advised by our but by our mentors that we trainee our soon to be engineer must be vigilant with what we come across and making sure that every equipment, small or large, must be serviceable before operating to reduce the damage or even prevent incidents. And then followed by temperature and relative humidity monitoring, and then followed by operated and understood overhead cranes and chillers, and then followed by the utilization of building management systems in which I, as a trainee, recognize the essence of real-time monitoring of statuses of water pumps, chillers, and lighting. And lastly is participation in facility operations meeting in which I was able to learn and be informed of the current concerns in every area of operations, followed by, of course, the soft skills that I was able to learn. So, having involved in real time operations and management, I had the chance to learn from industry professionals, uh, which made me sure, which which made me realize what being an engineer is, having been improving the way I communicate, such that a small thing like miscommunication can hinder the progress in managing a facility. And that, with that being said, I made sure that everything I communicated or did was swiftly done and with the aim to promote workplace safety and energy. And the presentation ahead depicts all the documentation and photographs of the hands-on experience uh, with my experience on Lufthansa. So the first image depicts the investigatory report that the trainees were tasked to, in which we were involved in investigating each marital plugs and cables, and then followed by the commissioning of the newly procured GPU, in which you can see that I was measuring the output values under particular loads, and that the second image depicts the uh, engineer Patrick from ITWGSE orienting me with the internals of a GPU, followed by the image of the trainee measuring the temperature and the relative humidity inside an aircraft. This image depicts the implementation of for the provisional permit to operate of an overhead crane, which is settled inside. an aircraft hangar. And then lastly is the site supervision with a third party service provider layer. And then, of course, as we gear towards the end of the presentation, wait, uh, of course, me as a learning, as a trainee, had learned had learned something and had learned a lot. So I'm proud to say that I was able to be part of Lufthansa Technik's OJT program, where I was able to learn a lot of technical topics from electrical systems, mechanical conditioning, and even aviation systems. And then, of course, I learned those things with the aim to manage workplace safety and ensure workplace efficiency. And then, with that in mind, I learned to develop myself in an amazing way, especially to prepare me for what's ahead. And then, with that, I want to thank everyone, especially the Lufthansa Technik Philippines and Colegio de Muntinlupa for a wonderful experience, allowing me to experience what it is like to be an electrical engineer. Thank you.